And I'm your host, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, John R. Heinis, and of course, the latest and greatest in Hudson County news. Happy New Year, happy 2024. I've spoken to many of you, but for those who I haven't, wishing you a very successful 2024 with much love and prosperity. With that, before we really get into the breaking news and some stories that have developed since the end of last year, we wanted to take some time here to recognize some of those local public servants that have called it a career. And first of all, I'm going to mention Hudson County Executive Tom DeGees. Of course, he served in that office for 2 decades, so we want to acknowledge, of course, his service. We're also going to mention State Senator Sandra Cunningham. Again, she was approaching 2 decades of service, and State Senator Nick Sacco, one of the longest serving members of the legislature. Of course, we're still going to be speaking to him. He's still the North Bergen mayor, and actually he's going to be joining us on set right here next week. We also wanted to mention Assemblyman Pedro Mejia, who was a younger member of the Assembly who, come out on the wrong side of redistricting, and that was kind of the theme there, that 32nd legislative district. But, we also got Assemblywoman Angelica Jimenez, who served for about a decade, and Assemblywoman Annette Chaparro, who also served multiple terms. And on the local level, also wanted to mention Hoboken First Ward Councilman Mike DeFusco, who did 2 terms and has already mentioned that he has an interest in potentially coming back on the state or county level. So just wanted to say thank you to them and anyone else that served those many years. Of course, it's tough to run an office and, of course, to maintain that office here in Hudson County. So I wanted to acknowledge them before we get into some of the stories that's happening here. Now, first of all, we're going to talk a little bit about the primary, which is not until June 4th, but it's already getting pretty hot. And you got 2 key races. Of course, you have Senate, Congress, of course, on top of the presidential. So we're going to talk a little bit about Council President in Jersey City, Joyce Waterman, a declared mayoral candidate, endorsing U.S. Rep. Andy Kim for Senate, and some of the fallout there locally. So that's certainly something we have on the docket today. Another thing we're going to talk about is Craig Guy. So, of course, we mentioned Tom DeGees ending his tenure as the county executive, so now we'll have a new one with Craig, and he was sworn in by Governor Phil Murphy last week. So we're going to touch on that. We're going to touch on some reorganization meetings, and my guest today is Assemblyman Julio Marenco. So all that and a whole lot more right after this word from our sponsors.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just 1 pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Hudson County View, live and uncut. John Heinis. So let's take it from the top here. So 6 days ago, we saw that Jersey City Council President Joyce Waterman endorsed U.S. Rep. Andy Kim, who represents the 3rd District over in South Jersey, as the next U.S. Senator. And again, this is a race that will be contested on June 4th, 2024. So we still got some time, but these races are starting hot and heavy. So let's take a look at the endorsement and unpack it a little bit. So we heard from Waterman, and in a statement, she said the following: "I'm so excited to bring Congressman Kim to Jersey City and Hudson County. I'm tired of people dictating to us who we are going to vote for. It's time that we tell everyone else who we want in office. Andy is the man for the job, and I believe in him, and you should too. I was born and raised in Jersey City and care about the people of this city." So that's a fairly strongly worded endorsement, I believe. And what she's talking about is that the Hudson County Democratic Organization, which she has been a part of, came out quite early in support of First Lady Tammy Murphy. Of course, that's the wife of Governor Phil Murphy. And that was within hours of her announcing her candidacy in mid-November. And of course, anyone running for Senate is looking to succeed U.S. Senator Bob Menendez. And we've talked about, who knows how many times, quite a few, about his issues on the federal level. We've got 3 indictments, the initial one in late September, and then 2 superseding indictments accusing him of corruption, accusing him of acting as a foreign agent to Egypt, and now most recently getting involved with deals that would be real estate deals of Fred Davies in the Qatari government. So there's a lot going on there. But with that said, it's interesting to see Waterman break away from the Hudson County Democrats. And she announced just before Thanksgiving she was running for mayor. And actually, she made this announcement just one day after she was reelected council president in what ended up being a little more contentious than we thought it would be. Councilman at Large Daniel Rivera clearly thought that position was owed to him. He thought that they had a handshake agreement. Obviously, that's not what ended up happening. So there's, quite a bit to unpack. But the interesting part that was reported by the Jersey Journal yesterday is that this is actually causing some tensions here between Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop and State Senator and Union City Mayor Brian Stack. So as you probably all know, State Senator Stack was the earliest supporter of former Governor Jim McGreevey for Jersey City Mayor. And of course, Fulop and McGreevey have not seen eye to eye in many years, ever since it looked like Fulop was going to be running for governor in 2017. That did end up happening. He ended up supporting the eventual winner, Phil Murphy, but they never ended up mending fences. So supposedly, or I should say allegedly, the reporting from the Jersey Journal indicates that Peter Baker, who's Jersey City's corporation counsel, was removed from the judicial nominee list as an act of retaliation from Stack. And, clearly it would appear that tensions are on the rise, but this is all attributed to sources, and none of this is happening in front of the curtain. So certainly we're going to keep our eye on what happens in the public domain here, but looks like this could end up being a bit of a collision course, which is kind of what we expected 2025 to be. But certainly, these are some interesting developments. So moving on, let's talk a little bit about a more harmonious Hudson County. And that's when we're talking about the new county executive. Again, Craig Guy, he's the 5th to do it. So obviously not many have had the privilege to serve in this role. And it was quite a ceremony at the Earl W. Byrd Center, that's County Prep High School. I could probably spend the whole show just telling you the guest list that was there, but it was very well attended. You had 1,000 people. You, of course, had Mayor Fulop. You, of course, had Mayor Sacco. And you had both congressmen you had 2 congressmen, I should say, there. One was Bill Pascrell, and one was Rob Menendez. And U.S. Senator Cory Booker even called it a video. So this lasted for a little over an hour, and we heard also from the choir and from one of the bands, too, for the Hudson County Schools of Technology. So it was quite an elaborate ceremony. And, we're on to the next chapter. So we got 4 years of Craig Guy, so congratulations to him. Now, on a little more hyper-local, the Hudson County Board of Commissioners have a clerk, and they make $109,000 a year. And for a brief time, since August, it was George Zapata, and he's the first ward councilman in Kearney, and he was the pick of acting Mayor Peter Santana. Now, obviously, Santana lost in a special election in November, and the winner was Carol Jean Doyle, who was the council president of Kearney at the time. And now she has actually taken on that role. And this was at a reorganization meeting last week. And passed 801. Commissioner Bob Basilis abstained since he assisted with Kearney's 2023 parking study. Of course, he's still the North Bergen Parking Authority Executive Director. So I was unable to get in touch with Doyle, but I did speak with Zapata, and he said, ultimately, I'm very thankful to the county commissioners for allowing me to serve in that position, and I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity. It's one thing to be an elected official, and it's another to work in a different capacity to help our county and serve the community. And as you guys may recall, the former mayor, Al Santos, who left in June to take Hudson County Superior Court judgeship, he served in this role for many years, so it's not unusual for the mayor to have this position. And also at that same reorg meeting, we saw Anthony Romano, a retired police captain, and who served as vice chair of the board since 2021, and he actually became the chair of the board in April of last year after Anthony Veneri left to serve as a township commissioner in North Bergen. He now has his first term, full term, I should say, as chair. And also joining the leadership team is Commissioner Jerry Walker, who is now the vice chair, Fanny Cedeno, now chair pro tempore. So with that, we're going to hear a word from our sponsors, and then I'm going to sit down with new Assemblyman Julio Marenco for the 32nd Legislative District. We'll be right back.
Pinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Pinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Growing up can be tough on kids. So much is going on in the world that can cause depression or anxiety. Unusual behavior for more than 6 months could mean they need help. Don't wait. For real-time mental health support and counseling, call New Jersey's Children's System of Care. CSOC offers free mental health supports, substance use treatment, and services for intellectual or developmental disabilities for all kids up to age 21. Call now, 1-877-652-7624.
Hudson County View, live and uncut. John R. Heinis. And as I mentioned today, I'm joined with the Assemblyman of the 32nd Legislative District, Julio Marenco. Julio, nice to have you back. Happy New Year.
How you doing?
Very good. How are you?
Great, great.
All right. So congrats on getting sworn in yesterday. So first, let's jump right in. So as you know, in the previous session, there was some pay raises approved, and there's been a lot of back and forth from both sides, Democrats and Republicans on this, but the part-time salary was $49,000. Now beginning in January 1, 2026, it'll be $82,000. And a lot of people that I'm seeing just online discourse, text messages, emails, a lot of people are glad that the staff will be making more. A lot of people think $82,000 for a part-time job is really outrageous. Now, obviously, you didn't vote on it, but you're going to, knock on wood, benefit from it. So where do you stand on how this shook out?
Did have nothing to go with it, but if you look at the numbers that they went with. The last time they got a raise was like over 20 years ago. So legislature, I know that they were going through it by saying if there had been cost of living increases all throughout, this is probably where they would have been. I believe they would have been at 86,000. So somehow making the sausage, they ended up down at 82. Now then you have the label that the legislature is a part-time job. You see us all the time, John. There's nothing in Hudson County politics that is part-time. I mean, yeah, the part-time attendance maybe down at the legislature, it comes out to about, I think, 40 to 50 days a year. But then every night, you're either, if you're doing your job, fielding constituent services, you're attending events where you find constituents, and you're also helping people at all hours of the night. So if you're doing your job right, it's only part-time in label and super full-time in practice.
Okay, fair enough. Now, when we're talking about this new class with a 9-member Hudson delegation, a lot of changes, right? You got 2
Yes.
new state senators, and I believe now out of the 6 assembly members, you got 5 new ones. So,
Yes.
just how does it feel to be part of this class, and how would you like to contribute going forward?
Very exciting. It's pretty exciting to be part of this class. We've all been getting together personally and professionally, and going forward, I think for Hudson County, we sometimes have a reputation of we all can't get along. It's Hudson County politics, very sharp elbows. But I think, speaking for the Assembly especially, the 6 new members, we're getting along great. I think we all just want to use our time, however long, short, or however it goes, in improving the lives of our constituents and our county as a whole. We all have a global view. It's a great class that's going to serve Hudson County well. We all work very well with the county executive, as you mentioned in your prior segment. Craig Guy has built a relationship with every single one of us, and we think it'll be great. I know the returning member, Will Sampson, has pretty good head on his shoulders, and he should do quite well helping us all get through it. And then you have 3 senators. Raj has an excellent reputation in the lower house of all the legislation he put up. So now he's going to bring that experience and personality to the Senate, where I think he's going to do great things. And Angela McKnight, whether it's through her organizations that she helps her communities or through her legislation on the floor helping her, all communities, has shown that she is up to the job and can do great things. And of course, we have the returning Senator Brian Stack, who will continue doing what he does for all his communities, as he always does a good job.
Very good. That's a nice breakdown for us. Now, let's talk a little bit about that. So you ran with Senator Stack, of course, and
Yes.
Gabriel Rodriguez. And now look, obviously, historically, the past 2 decades or so, they've thought, Union City, North Bergen, always in some kind of blood feud. At least that's a public perception to some point.
Yeah.
But clearly, you guys made it through the campaign trail, and it appears you have a working relationship. But what's that like? Could you give us a little taste?
I always tell people it's very different. It's just a style difference, because if you look at the North Bergen organization, politically speaking, we're very laser focused on our committee. People do a great job. I always shout them out in private, and I shout them out here in public. They know every single house in their districts. Their little 5, 6, 7 block area. They will tell you the names of the dogs, the names, and what they need. And that just helps us in a way that whatever they need, we focus on, and I respond to them. I work for them, I work for their constituents, I work for our constituents. And then over in Union City, they have a different style. It's very much more of a shotgun, where they go to every single house as a huge army, and they find out what they need. So at the end of the day, the great thing about it is we're serving our constituents. It's all about service. If you join this game, because part of it is the political side is a game, but the government side is help as many people as you can. If you help as many people as you can, at the end of the day, the politics takes care of itself, hopefully always positive.
All right, very good, Julio. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, stay put. We're going to be right back right after this commercial break.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Hudson County View, live and uncut. John Heinis, and I'm still here with the Assemblyman of the 32nd Legislative District, Julio Marenco. So Julio, just before the break, we were talking about serving the constituents and talking about, the government and the politics coming together. So on that point, tell me, what were the first 2, maybe 3 bills you would like to put up and like to see some positive change here in North Hudson and Secaucus, perhaps beyond?
Luckily I have a pretty varied background and I have pretty good teammates in North Bergen that I've learned a lot from. So I have different areas I'd like to focus on. My local government was finance. My day job at one point was the parole board. So those are 2 things I want to put in bills and that I think will help improve that. And then I also spent some time at the Board of Ed and have been mentored by not just my mayor, but fellow commissioners. I have DPW Commissioner Anthony Renner and his predecessor, Julio. I know they have a lot of roads that we believe in get that blacktop done right away, and that's big. So that's bringing home the bucks for that. Then Commissioner Cabrera has one of the best, I say probably one of the best in the state recreation programs, and we serve thousands of kids on any event. I mean, you've seen it. It's a mob. It's a madhouse when it is, but it's a happy madhouse. I think towns would benefit from that view and hopefully put things in place that can help other cities that want to have that type of program, because it helps the poorer communities, middle class communities, poorer communities, and so that would be huge. And then of course, one of my biggest talents is law and public safety, just because of my career background, my legal background, corrections and parole, and I have a great relation with Commissioner Pasquale, and Chief Facilis has done a great job. I know all the other towns have these great chiefs, Ficini and Union City, and I'd love to work with them, coming up with laws that help them, serve the public, but also they get beat up a lot. I mean, law enforcement, right now you got to pick between law enforcement and firemen. I was told this by Laura. Everybody's running to a fireman because everybody loves a fireman, but as they always say, who do you call when you need help?
Right.
It's an officer. So those are some of the areas I plan on hopefully concentrating right away, and anything else that can come back and help the local 6 towns in my district.
So while you don't have anything terribly specific just yet, of course it's your second day.
Yes.
But your goal in a nutshell would be to take those state dollars and bring them back to the urban municipalities. Would that be about right?
That is number 1 goal.
Okay. Now, with that, obviously shortly after your swearing in, Governor Murphy gave his State of the State. And look, I don't think anyone that's been following was terribly surprised by anything he talked about, reproductive choice, affordable housing, the minimum wage. I could go on, but obviously you were there. I won't belabor the point. But I guess what I really wanted to hear from you was anything that stood out for you, and is there anything you would like to expand upon based on any of his remarks that he made?
I think it was a very good 6-year speech. I mean, he's gotten a lot accomplished. I mean, it would be a waste of talent and time if you didn't get a lot of things accomplished having a Democratic Senate, a Democratic Assembly, Democratic government. You have the 41-21-1 rule, as they say in Trenton, where he has the majorities and can get things that work for the citizens of New Jersey, reflective of his agenda, which is a little bit left of center. And I think now he's talking bigger picture and tidy some things up that I think he's always been talking about. I mean, some things have come up. I know reproductive rights is a national issue now, so that's something that in New Jersey we believe in. A woman's choice is a woman's choice. So that's more of an easy one of making sure we protect that right at always and it doesn't get chipped away. The law enforcement side, he's a big believer in release and productive release. So that's something that he was no surprise to anybody there. He wants to probably keep pushing that more towards a progressive national model or make us a national progressive model. And then the rest of the stuff, it was pretty much things, no surprises. Things he's advocated for but hasn't been able to get through, and we think he'll try before his 7th year, because as you know, once you're a lame duck in any position, people are looking at the next guy or gal. So I think he knows that, is self-aware enough to know, let's finish things up in the next 2 years.
Makes sense. Now, let's talk a little 8th District congressional race. Obviously,
Yes.
we got the incumbent. You got Rob Menendez. And then on the other side, we also have Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala. And while there is no FEC report just yet, we heard through the New Jersey Globe that he raised $1 million. So certainly a nice chunk of change. How do you see this race shaking out and why?
John, I don't have your talent to read those reports. I don't even know how to find those reports, and my life depended on it. But $1 million, man, that's a lot. Who raised $1 million, you said?
That was Ravi.
Ravi. That's impressive, no matter what. Whether you take it out of your pocket, you take it supporters. It says he's making a real run at this. And, you know, as we always say in politics, you have the right to run. God bless him if he tries, you know, and wins. He's a winner. If he tries and loses, he's a loser. And not to quote Robin as his dad, but he's always said elections have consequences. That's the political side of it. And we'll see how it goes. I think either one of them, the 8th District does well service-wise, but as I always say, Rob has been doing a good job. I just talked to him yesterday, or this morning we text, and he's done a good job. So, you know.
So you're supporting Rob, right?
I am supporting Rob.
Okay. And any closing thoughts before we let you jump?
Thank you. I didn't get my rhyme in. I know you're always doing the rhyme, the headline guy who writes his own lines. I don't know if that's a good rap one for you, but that reflects but I think it's a good time for Hudson County. 23 year was a huge elections all around, and I think now the new leadership, the new servants are in place for at least 2 years of good service, and I think Hudson County will hopefully benefit from good government.
Julio, thank you so much. Best of luck.
John, thank you so much.
Happy New Year again, ladies and gentlemen. We still got one segment left. We'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Growing up can be tough on kids. So much is going on in the world that can cause depression or anxiety. Unusual behavior for more than 6 months could mean they need help. Don't wait. For real-time mental health support and counseling, call New Jersey's Children's System of Care. CSOC offers free mental health supports, substance use treatment, and services for intellectual or developmental disabilities for all kids up to age 21. Call now, 1-877-652-7624.
Hudson County View, live and uncut, John Heinis. So a few more before we call it a week, folks. So we just talked about Governor Murphy quite a bit. Let's talk a little bit about this migrant situation, and we just got an update 2 days ago. So he sent a letter to quite a few bus operators, and most of them out of Texas, and he said that it's imperative they give the State Office of Emergency Management 32 hours notice before arriving. So you guys that have been following throughout the holidays know that migrants from largely Texas and also a little bit from Louisiana have come to New Jersey at 5 different location points, one of them being Secaucus. And now there's been a few thousand out of a few dozen buses, and Governor Murphy is trying to get some clarity on the situation, it would seem. So the letter says in part, over the course of approximately the last week, dozens of charter buses operated by a number of your companies transported from Texas and or Louisiana over 1,800 individuals who recently arrived in the United States to transit sites in New Jersey. He also emphasized that most, if not all of these people then proceeded forward to New York City. And as you guys probably have read by now, on December 27th, New York City Mayor Eric Adams did an executive order limiting the days and times of when migrant buses can make stops there. So, with that in mind, Murphy continued that unfortunately these buses arrived in New Jersey with no advance notice to appropriate state or local officials and without taking proper precautions to ensure that passengers safely reach their ultimate destinations. He also said that Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who's a Republican, was using state funds to pay for the transportation of migrants. So that's why he's asking for the notice, and he's asked for other identifying info. Some as simple as the license plate number and the color of the bus, the size of the family, how many single individuals, and much more. So we posted the letter online if you guys would like to read it. Another thing out of Trenton is in light of the killings of Najee Seabrooks of Patterson and Andrew Washington of Jersey City. These were police-involved shootings from people that were having a mental episode. And in Washington's case, as we reported on extensively, he was wielding a knife right before the officer shot him. Now there's a bill that would have a Community Crisis Response Advisory Council, and $12 million would be allocated statewide, and they're going to have these pilot programs where each applicant is eligible for up to $2 million apiece. And again, that's an annual dollar amount. So another interesting one, and I think we'll just end on this note, is that Ndaba Mandela, he's the grandson of course, the world-famous Nelson Mandela, is going to speak at Hudson County Community College next week at their annual Martin Luther King Day Memorial. He's got a pretty impressive resume in his own right, if I do say so myself. And the event will be on Thursday, January 18th from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. And students, faculty, staff, and community members are all welcome to attend free of charge, and the sign-up is on our website. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. And we'll be back next week. And as I mentioned at the top of the program, we'll be with North Bergen Mayor Nick Sacco. Have a great week.
Thanks for watching Hudson Media Group. Follow us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.